All right, Shalom, Akim, Shalom, Shalom. This is your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, coming with another lesson through the Spirit. Lord willing, this be edifying to the Lord's elect. And before I get started with this lesson, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto our power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Shalom to the Akim out there that's pushing the truth, is laboring in the word, and is pushing the gospel of the great kingdom that's soon to come. Shalom to the Ahchwath that's listening in, that's remaining true to the faith, all right, remaining faithful and submissive to their husbands and guiding their children. And shalom to the hopeful elect of the 12 tribes that scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. To you Israelite foreigners out there who live among the heathen and who look like those heathen nations. But your lineage goes back to the progenitors of the 12 tribes of the nation of Israel through the line of your fathers. I want to say peace and blessings to you all. Barak Thumb. All right. So this lesson's pretty much going to be another interpretation, all right, of a dream that my beloved Ahchwath had shared with me. All right. And this was a very powerful one. You know what I'm saying? Even though on the surface it may seem like pretty pretty surface level if those for those who already know this truth. All right. But when you go and you meditate on it, as she was relaying this message or this dream, this vision to me, and I meditated on it, all right, the deeper and deeper it got. You know what I'm saying? So much was said, all right, or so much was being shown to her in this vision. So pretty much this is a two-part vision, all right, two parts of a whole. And she shared it with me. So she said that she had this dream a little over a year ago. You know what I'm saying? And the dream goes like this. All right. She says that she stepped out of her old house, all right, that she had over in Trinidad. And she saw chariots, all right? But her mind wasn't going directly to chariots, you know what I'm saying? It was going to ships, all right? Spaceships. You know what I'm saying? That's what her mind was immediately telling her, spaceships, you know what I'm saying? Even though we know, all right, that these are chariots, okay? And, what I believe caused her to think that way was because of their shapes. You know what I'm saying? These chariots were unlike the typical shape, you know what I'm saying, that's usually describing a UFO, quote unquote, all right, as being a disc-like object or a disc shape. You see what I'm saying? These were different. Okay? She said these were very large and they looked like enormous vessels that flew across the sky above her. Okay? She said as she watched, this thing flying above her, she said it was very quiet. And she said she wondered if there was anybody else around that was witnessing this. But she said she couldn't see anyone. So she then woke up from that dream, and she said about several days later, about a week later afterwards, she received the second one. All right, a second vision. Okay? And in this vision, she continues on from where she left off. All right? She was in this in the same spot after having left the house. Okay? And she saw this ship, okay? this massive chariot. And she said there was others. All right. She said that these chariots, all right, she got more clarity in the second vision. She said that these chariots looked very strange to her. Okay. She said that she was walking down the street underneath it. Okay. And she was trying to make out what she was seeing. She said that they were large. They were at least a mile long. They were so large. And as she continued walking, trying to scale the size of this craft, all right, she notices a crowd of people. Okay. She noticed a crowd of people along with military vehicles and military soldiers. All right. And she proceeds to make her way through the thick crowd of people. All right. In order to make her way to the front of the crowd so that she could see what was happening. The military, of course, were trying to control the crowd. All right. And when she reaches the front of the crowd, she sees a tall humanoid man over 7 feet tall. Right. She says she said that this humanoid was drawing her to him. All right. The humanoid was drawing her to him. And as she walked closer to him, the military had their weapons drawn. Right? But he extended his hand towards her and she grabbed it. She went to grab it. Right? She said that his hands weren't like human hands, but they were like eagle's talons. She said that they were razor sharp. All right, so sharp, in fact, that they could decapitate someone with a single swing. Now, she said that the skin of his hands, she said that the skin was very strong, like that of sturdy armor. You know what I'm saying? But when she went to hold his hand, his skin had softened to the touch of hers. Okay? So when she touched his hand, it got soft. It wasn't hard anymore. It wasn't solid. Right? And when she looked at him, his face had changed from it transformed from a strange creature with large eyes to that of a man with negroid features. She said that it was the Lord. All right. She said that it was Yahweh. And she said his countenance became soft and was welcoming. And then she said he looked over towards the military and he asked, "Did you warn the people of what is coming?" That's what Yahweh had asked the military. Did you warn the people of what is coming? And as she was holding on to his hand, she saw a second group of people on the opposite side of him. And someone else had came out of that crowd and grabbed onto his other hand. All right. Now she believes that what it means is there was someone else in reality who was having, you know what I'm saying, the same exact dream that she was having. Okay. See what I'm saying? So, I pondered on that, you know what I'm saying? And I meditated, like I said. And the spirit brought me to the interpretation of this dream. All right. So what we should take from this dream is the fact that our salvation will be an astonishment to the world. All right. It will be an astonishment to the world, as the scripture saying, Wisdom of Solomon, the 5th chapter. All right. That the world and everyone's going to be they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation, the strangeness of the salvation of the Israelites. Okay. So it's going to be an astonishment to the world. But before that, there'll be great deception, right? Before we're delivered out of here, there's going to be great deception, great deception. Okay, let's go to Habakkuk. All right, this is Habakkuk, chapter 3, and verse 16. All right. It reads, "When I heard, my belly trembled, my lips quivered at the voice, rottenness entered into my bones, and I trembled in myself that I might rest in the day of trouble. When he cometh up unto the people, he will invade them with his troops." All right. And this is talking about the return of Yahweh Shai. Okay. Now keep in mind that Esau wants an invasion, quote unquote, of his own. You know what I'm saying? Which he will use. All right. It will be used to solidify his rulership. All right. But he's not going to be able to complete, all right, what he hopes to accomplish. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Job real quick. All right, this is Job chapter 20 and verse 20. It reads, "Surely he shall not feel quietness in his belly. He shall not save of that which he desired." Okay, this thing is not going to go the way Esau planned. All right. So when the Lord returns with the angels, all right, it will look like an armada from another dimension. All right, with chariots as large as cities. Even more so when Yahweh Shai returns in that Father ship. And he will send these angels to gather his elect. Right? As it says in the book of Matthew, Matthew chapter 24, verse 31. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter 31, verse 5. Right? Okay, Isaiah chapter 31 and verse 5. It reads, "As birds flying, so will the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Tazbawath, defend Jerusalem. Defending also he will deliver it, and passing over he will preserve it." See what I'm saying? And these super large ships, okay, that she saw hovering above her, you know, it was definitely a sight to see. Right? And the tall man that she met was indeed Yahweh Shai. All right, but before he revealed himself to her, the appearance was was an abnormal creature. You know what I'm saying? Like she said, with eyes, you know, super large eyes and all that, you know? But these are the two dynamics. the false, and the truth. You see? Like I said, Esau wants to come with his quote unquote invasion himself. All right? This is why you see so much of this talk in the mainstream media now concerning disclosure, concerning all this and all that. You know what I'm saying? When they're painting the narrative of what these aliens are going, what these so-called aliens are going to be looking like. You know what I'm saying? And how they're looking for DNA and all this stuff, all that type of stuff. I brought it out in a previous lesson. All right, I think I did that lesson yesterday. All right. But yeah, there will be, all right, there will be false flags, if you will. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Matthew. All right, this is Matthew chapter 24. Let's start at verse 3. It reads, "And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, Tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming, and of the end of the world? And Yahushua answered and said unto them, Take heed that no man deceive you. Take heed that no man deceive you." And there's going to be great, great, great deception before the coming of our Lord. You see what I'm saying? They're going to go forward with this reset. And they need just the right amount of chaos. They need just the right amount of fear, anxiety, all that wrapped together in one pretty bow with a box of chaos. They're going to need that. You see what I'm saying? So when she went to hold his hand in the vision, all right, she said that his hand was like eagle's talons, right? She said that his hand was like eagle's talons. It wasn't like a normal hand. And that had me thinking about this precept here. All right, let's go to Jeremiah. All right, this is Jeremiah chapter 49 and verse 22. It says, "Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs." See what I'm saying? So the Lord is going to come with great judgment. All right? Okay? I'm going to read that again. Verse 22. Jeremiah 49, verse 22. "Behold, he shall come up and fly as the eagle, and spread his wings over Basra. And at that day shall the heart of the mighty men of Edom be as the heart of a woman in her pangs." All right. What did she say? She said that there were military personnel that was present. Okay. The military was there. And yet they could do nothing. You see what I'm saying? Now she said in the vision, before she touched him, all right, before she touched him, his hand was as solid as plated steel. You know what I'm saying? And that brought me to this precept. All right, Wisdom of Solomon chapter 5, verse 17. It reads, He shall take to him his jealousy for complete armor, and make the creature his weapon for the revenge of his enemies. He shall put on righteousness as a breastplate, and true judgment instead of an helmet. He shall take holiness for an invincible shield. See? So that's what that means. He's coming with great vengeance, and no one's going to be able to stop him. All right? And when he looked over at the soldiers, he asked the soldiers, "Did you warn the people of what was coming?" All right? And when he said that, all right, "Did you warn the people of what was coming?" he was rebuking the elites of Edom. He was rebuking them. Right? Now we know that it's only the Israelites who can prophesy and reveal the mysteries in this book in order to warn the people, all right, the prophets. We know that it's only them that can do it, but you got to remember, these Edomites picked up this book. These Edomites picked up this book. And with it comes a standard that's required. You see what I'm saying? And as it was weighed against Babylon in the book of Daniel, all right, this place, America, aka Mystery Babylon, has been weighed in the balance and is found wanting. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to be judged according to this standard, since they decided to pick up this book. Right? Let's go to Psalms chapter 50. Right? This is Psalms chapter 50 and verse 16. It reads, "But unto the wicked, the Most High saith, What hast thou to do to declare my statutes, or that thou shouldest take my covenant in thy mouth? Seeing thou hatest instruction and casteth my words behind thee." You see? This is Edom. All right? You took this book, you made it your standard, and then you did everything contrary to what is written. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to Psalms chapter 82. All right, this is Psalms chapter 82 and verse 2. "How long will ye judge unjustly, and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah." You know what I'm saying? How long will ye judge unjustly, Slakia? How long will ye judge unjustly and accept the persons of the wicked? Selah. "Defend the poor and fatherless. Do justice to the afflicted and needy. Deliver the poor and needy. Rid them out of the hand of the wicked. They know not, neither will they understand. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course." You see what I'm saying? The scriptures say where there is no vision, the people perish, man. You know what I'm saying? These devils have not lived to this very standard that they picked up. All right? Let's go to 2nd Esdras. All right, 2nd Esdras chapter 6 and verse 18. It reads, let's start at verse 17. 2nd Ezra 6 and 17. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened, and behold, there was a voice that spake, and the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh, and to visit them that dwell upon the earth. Who is that man? Who is that voice? That voice with the sound of many waters. It's Yahushua. It's Yahushua, man. You see it? When it says that he has the voice of many waters, the same thing can be said in the book of Revelation. You know what I'm saying? Real quick. All right, this is, let's see, Revelation chapter 1, verse 15. And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in the furnace, and his voice as the sound of many waters. You see? So going back, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 18. And I beheld, Slaki, and I said, let me read that again. And it said, behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth, and will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled. You see? So the Lord is coming to inquire of these heathen, man. All right? Scripture said that he's going to plead with them for my people, for the sake of Zion, for the controversy of Zion. Right? And then in the vision, okay, in the vision, she looks to her opposite side, okay, and she saw someone else grabbing his other hand who came out of the second crowd, okay. And this is the interpretation. These two crowds, all right, these two large crowds are the innumerable multitude, okay. And while it is very possible, okay, while it is very possible that someone else may well have had this same dream, okay, the interpretation is that both she, all right, that both she and this other person grabbing his other hand, they both represent the rejoining of the two kingdoms of Israel, which begins his reign of the tabernacle of David. That's what that means. Okay? Both those kingdoms will be rejoined when Yahushua comes back. That's why she held his one hand and the other one held his other hand. All right? And both multitudes or both crowds will join together. You see what I'm saying? Both crowds. Like the scriptures say, the stick of Ephraim and his companions, and the stick of Judah and his companions. You see what I'm saying? Let's go to the book of Amos. All right, this is Amos chapter 9, verse 11. It reads, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, and close up the breaches thereof. And I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old, that they may possess the remnant of Edom, and all the brethren which are called by my name, saith the Lord that doeth this. Behold, the days come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that sows seed, and the mountains shall drop sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. See what I'm saying? So the Lord is coming, man, to rebuild, all right, the breaches that have been fallen, man. You know what I'm saying? When the tabernacle of David is reestablished. All right, that's the interpretation of her dream. And it was a beautiful dream, man. But it was very sobering, all right, to think that there's going to be so much chaos that's going to lead up to Yahweh's return. And we're fast approaching that time, man. So I pray this lesson was edifying to the elect of the nation of Israel. This has been your brother Zakaria Allah, branched out here in Williamsport, Pennsylvania. In closing, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushai, Bahashim, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone who rule well and who teach well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom.